Day 58 of the Daily Speaking Challenge. So I'm going to try to talking about a diary. So a diary is usually in a form of book, personal book, and it is like a daily record of experiences in a day or daily. Like for example, what was happening in the morning, and then or perhaps at noon, at dawn, in the evening, and then you just write it down. Usually, people just write. Um, Usually, people prefer to write diary in the evening, but nowadays, I think it depends on the people. But at least that was happening. That's what I think. What was happening, and even I experienced it myself. And yeah, I used to write a diary before, and it's not only about uh, daily record of experiences. It can also include your thoughts, like what did you feel in the morning, perhaps after certain situations happened, and then you got a thought like, oh, something like this. I thought something like this, and then you just write it down into sentences on your book. And not only thought, because when things happened, your brain, like, not only your brain that will work, um, but also your feeling. And then yeah, it's also a daily record of your feelings, because sometimes people could experience a lot of feelings in a day, and then the reason why people are feeling that, and obviously it happened after something was happening, so it related to activities and experiences. And then also events, like, yeah, events are something related to activities, right? So perhaps you were attending a wedding uh, this morning, and then you just would like to write it down on your diary, and then uh, write something about what do you think about the wedding, perhaps like, okay, the event organization, the event organizer, the event organize the event organizer was doing great with the wedding, about the decor, etc. And then perhaps you think, like, you feel like, oh, I met the bride, and it said something like this, and it made me feel happy, or something like that. And you are not only talking about event, you are also talking about your experience. Perhaps you just experience, you know, eating something that you haven't tried it before in that wedding, and then about what do you think about the wedding, what the condition, and what did you see, and then you just put it into words. No, not into words, but into sentences. And then about feeling, what did you feel? Perhaps you feel happy when you saw the bride and then the groom were smiling after they tied the knot, perhaps something like that. And yeah, as I mentioned before, I used to write a diary, or perhaps people call it journal in the past, and it related to language as well. So I thought, like, I'd like to learn how like I'd like to learn a language by making diary in two languages, which were my one of my mother tongue, which was Indonesian, and also English. And at that time, I didn't have a complete, let's say, a complete dictionary book. So I got a something like a pocket book, or at least I consider it as a pocket book, because it wasn't complete. Like, the vocabularies, not all of the vocabulary, not all of the vocabularies were there, or let's say complete, or let's say full, because like the the physical condition of uh, the dictionary at that moment was broken, if I'm remembering right. And then the shape of the dictionary that I got was quite small, that I consider it as a pocket vocabulary. And then I tried, to make the sentence. I remember that I tried to make the sentence in Indonesian first, and then I, translated into English. And by that activity, I thought like I grew some vocabularies, new vocabularies, but I still got a problem of making a sentence like a full sentence in English. But that's what I experienced with diary. So yeah, I used to make diary in two languages, which was Indonesian and English, and try to make short diaries, because I I tried to force myself to make a sentence, and then I had to translate it to English, and then I wasn't good at English. I still am not really good at it now, but at the moment, the difficulty of the needed, like I felt the difficulty of translate it into English, because I didn't have a complete or full dictionary, and I was having a very limited amount of vocabulary at that moment. And then because of the needed of making this let's say diary every day, it made me feel the pressure on you know it made me feel the pressure. And then because I felt pressure, I didn't make longer you know diary at the moment each day. But I tried quite a long. I'm not really sure though for how long, but I did. I remember that I did it quite a long time, for quite a long time. But somehow I just don't remember why did I stop the activity. But yeah, sadly I stopped it. And what I remember about the diary as well, like I tried to started to make another journal account, perhaps last year or something, like something, not recently, but not also like quite a few months ago, but it's quite a long time, but not that long. So I tried to make journal again, I think in English or something like that, because I was watching, a YouTuber, self help YouTuber, and he was talking about, put it on what in your thought after you just woke up. So I tried that, and I feel better. It feels like, I clean my head after I just woken up, and I stop it again. I don't know if I would like to make it again, but yeah, I think I need to make it again, since like I do not have an excellent memory actually. I do not have an excellent memory. So that's why sometimes you perhaps mentioned or recognize that I could be like forgetting what I was saying in the middle. So that's why I kept mentioning, I'm sorry that if I met, uh, nonsense words, because I felt like I was forgetting what I was saying. And then did like, do I do uh, something, in a right way, that, do I say something right now? Is it, related to the sentences that I was saying, that I was just saying? And it's happening to me. I do not have uh, an excellent memory, but by making a daily record, I guess I could remember my past more, and then perhaps by that I could have a better um, memory, and improve my English in case if I would like to do it in English. And perhaps you would like to do it as well. Try with two languages and then not only uh, write it down and put it into words, but also put it into sentences, word sentences, or write it down. But you need to also like speak it out loud. Practice to speak by reading and say it out loud. So your tongue will be used to say the language, to say the words, not language, words. And yeah, I think that's what I can say about a diary or a daily record or journal. Some of you probably call it journal. And I hope you enjoy it. I hope you enjoy it. Bye.